How do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. So happy that you have joined me for a little chunk of your afternoon. WYSL Rochester, New York, WACK Newark, New York, which of course is the cool Newark. That's the cool one. Sorry, Jersey. I have the cool Newark up here in New York. You don't? Reach out to me. 585-346-3000. I'm going to bring up an odd story. I'm old enough, and some of you too are old enough to remember, when the drinking age in New York State was 18, wasn't 21. You remember that there was a thing that kids in high school used to drink beer because you'd always have at least one kid who was 18 who could go buy the beer, or sometimes you could just go and people wouldn't really card you because, you look big enough, you're probably 18, and people weren't that concerned. So there was a problem with, of course, drunk driving. People were worried about this, about all these things. So there was a goal, and the goal was we have to get beer out of high schools. And one of the ways he chose to do that was to raise the drinking age to 21. Now, you might go, Larry, is that the reason? That wasn't the only reason, but that was a big reason why people were pushing getting the drinking age to 21, because that would get alcohol out of high schools, right? That was the goal. We didn't want our kids getting drunk in high school. Okay, I understand that. Seems to make sense to me. So we did that. We thought, okay, now we're winning. Okay, we did that. Great. So what was the outcome of that? Did we actually stop the, or at least slow down? I'm probably going to stop, but at least slow down significantly alcohol in high school? Yes, we did. That's true. There now are less kids. Even today, there are less kids drinking alcohol as high schoolers than there were when I was a kid. That's absolutely true. It totally worked. We should be proud of ourselves, right? Well, you knew where I was going on this one. No, because what increased? Weed and hard drugs. That actually increased. And you might say, wait a minute, Larry, are you telling me that prohibition didn't work? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Prohibition didn't work. Now, did it stop initially what they wanted it to stop? Was there a short-term or short-sighted gain? Yes. Could they, the people who put this policy in place, could they claim victory? Yes, absolutely. We got alcohol out of high schools. See that? Win-win. But were you actually trying to get kids to not be using any substance to get high, and trying to get kids and encouraging kids to get high in more healthy ways, like exercise and spirituality and things like that, right? Which is what most people would like our youth doing. If we had a way of shoving them towards that, we probably would. Makes sense. We didn't get that, though, did we? It reminds me of the story. It's a story from the Wild West. I don't know if it's accurate. This is a story that's been told by business consultants in the past. I picked it up from some business consultant. I forgot which one. So it may be true and it may not be true, but it's a good story either way. In the West, when we were out there, Americans moving out in the West in the 1800s, there was a problem with burying people who were actually still alive. We didn't have a very good way of figuring out if they were alive or not. So we would basically put a mirror by someone's face, and if it didn't fog up, we figured they were dead. That's kind of how we were doing things back then. We weren't that good. So we'd have a wake, would be 3 or 4 days, and they don't wake up, they're dead. So got it. Got to wake. They're not waking up. Into the box they go, and underground they go. And as we are moving out, we would be moving cemeteries, right? Because as people would get new land, change, they dig up the cemeteries, move them, and they would open up some of the coffins, and they would find scratch marks in the roof of the coffin. Imagine how horrible that was. People thought, we got to find a better way. We can't be burying people alive. That's a terrible thing. What are we going to do? So one guy had a great idea. He said, I'm going to fix your problem. And they're like, really? Yeah, totally going to fix your problem. Here's what I'm going to do. In every coffin, in the lid, we're going to put a spike on the inside of the lid, chest height. And they're like, what? Yeah. So when you close the lid, the guy's dead. You are not going to bury anyone alive at all. And they were like, but no, that I don't want to kill the people. I don't want them to be, buried alive. He's like, well, they won't be. By the time they go in, they'll be dead. Problem solved. This is a similar type of situation, right? What do I really want? They say, Larry, why are you going down this road? You're talking about Wild West spikes. You're talking about booze in high schools. Because while that was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and then a couple 100 years ago, 150 years ago, right now we're doing it again. We've learned nothing. What are we doing in New York State now? We're going to ban all of the gas hookups in the buildings across New York State. Because prohibition always works. Because knee-jerk bans and knee-jerk laws always work. What could go wrong? We've only watched this failure, but give or take 200 years, give or take. And we still haven't figured out this doesn't work. But we're doing it. Our new Lord Master, Her Majesty, Queen Kathy, is now backing and going to support banning the connection of all gas hookups in all new buildings. And I think it's, if I remember the law right, or the rule, it's not a law yet, it's a bill. What's supposed to take effect is by 2024, all buildings 7 stories or above, and then I think 2030 or 2027, all buildings across the state. None of them can have any gas, no gas stoves, no gas heating, none. Even though in America, natural gas, the most popular and most prevalent energy source we have. Don't do that. The one that we have lots of, that will be cheap. Don't do that. That's the bad one. We're going to make sure we do only renewables, right? Because again, what could go wrong? That's the perfect answer. We'll just force it and it'll work. And I said, Larry, we can't do that. Come on, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? There's no way. Do we have any examples of people doing it or not? We do. Absolutely. They've done it in several California cities. And what has been a result in those California cities? You know, there's 2 things happening in California and have been happening for about 2 or 3 years. Brownouts and people leaving California. Well, we already had the leaving part. We got that down. Now we get to have the brownouts too. Look at that. So have there been any states, you might say, Larry, who have said, no, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do that? Well, yes, there are. 2 that I'll mention right now. Texas and Arizona. They said, no, you can't ban them. Let people get what they want. If they want to go to electric or non-gas, let them. If they want to go to gas, let them. Let the people decide what they want. Let's do that. And what's happened to them? Well, guess what? People are flocking to Arizona and Texas. They're literally gaining Congress people. No brownouts there. It's kind of odd. So what are we going to do? I know you're saying, Larry, These people are professionals. They're politicians. They care about us. They're going to see that. They're going to shoot this bill down. There's no way this bill will pass. Yeah, it's going to pass. And it's going to pass in the budget. Because as you've heard me say many times, New York City doesn't pass laws anymore. We only pass budgets. We don't pass laws. That's for chumps, right? The real corrupt people only pass budgets. This way, all the people in the assembly are beholden to all the money in the budget. If they don't pass it, they don't get their money. So they're able to absolutely blackmail everybody into passing every law within the budget. I got to give Cuomo this. Clearly, I am not a Cuomo fan, but I got to respect the game. That man set it up to where he got what he wanted, when he wanted, how he wanted, and he handed it off to Queen Kathy. Well done. And she now gets what she wants, when she wants, how she wants it. This is the perfect example of why we don't want so much power in executive, because when that executive's away, the next executive comes in, and they may not be what we want. Now, I didn't want the last guy. I don't want this one either. Doesn't matter. Maybe nobody should have this kind of power. Maybe nobody should be able to just ban things because they're scared. Maybe we shouldn't just ban things because it's cool. We don't even think, what's the damage? The amount that we are going to start paying in New York State to heat is going to be crazy. Probably double. We don't know for sure, but you could ask people who are experts. They'll tell you somewhere between 50% more, 100% more. Could be double. And you might go, Larry, you and your money, all you talk about is like taxes and bills. Yeah, because that's how the average person who's middle class or working poor, they survive on this. If you're wealthy, you don't care. If your bill goes, if you're wealthy, you got a big old house and it goes from $2,000 to $2,500 or to $3,000, you don't care, you're wealthy. But when your bill goes from $250 to $500, that's devastating. This is not a good idea. And we learn nothing. Am I wrong? Tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp on A Free Solution, WYSL. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories.
Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that
Tyler
dirty?
from
You're only
Norwich,
seeing
New
furnace
York.
filters
Now,
help.
only with dust,
You're
Zach.
welcome.
But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix.
Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp back here on A Free Solution. I'm usually host of the Sharpway Show, but that's something totally different and also cool. You can go there if you like to. Check me out on the Sharpway if you like. Google that. Go on all the internet things. Check that out. But today, I'm with you. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about why we just keep trying to ban things. We keep trying to force things, and we never try to incentivize or get people to want to do the thing that we want them to do. We never try to show people the way, so they'll just do it because they go, oh, he's right. I should do that. No, I'm right, so you'll do as I say, or I'll punish you, because that always works. Let me grab a call if I could. I'm going to be chatting with Tyler from Norwich. Tyler, how are you?
How you doing again, Larry? What's going on?
What's going on, my friend?
Okay, so I have a two-pronged question here. First off, how much does NYSEG stand to gain by making us all switch to electric heat in the wintertime? And secondly, how much or how long will it be before Queen Kathy the Terrible decides to come after, I don't know, wood pellet stoves, regular wood stoves, coal stoves, that sort of stuff?
I think the first question is kind of rhetorical, so I think you know the answer. I'll go to the second one. The second question is a more valuable one, which most people don't think. And you kind of took my thunder. I was going to cover this segment anyway, so I'm glad you were the perfect segue. You might remember in New York State last November, we passed that proposal number 2, which has allowed now a right in New York State, every human to have a healthful environment. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I voted no on that.
Yeah, I did too, but it didn't matter. It sounded great, and I knew people would be like, oh, that sounds beautiful. It's a right for us to have a healthful environment, and they checked it. And that goes right to what you just said. You're going to say to yourself, Larry, how in the world are they going to justify going into someone's home and telling them they can't have a wood-burning stove or a kerosene heater or whatever is the thing that you're talking about, whatever that thing is? They're going to say, that's not a healthful environment. And because that's now a right, we have the right to go into your home and seize those types of things. That's how they're going to do it. You're completely correct. That is the next step. So now you can't have a wood-burning stove, or you can't have a kerosene heater, or whatever is the thing that you're going to be using because you can't afford the electric heat. So they're going to say, I can't have you inhale whatever they think you're inhaling. I'd rather have you freeze to death. Way better.
But wait a minute, isn't it my right to burn whatever the hell I want in my house?
One would think, but no. But clearly no. You live in the wrong state, my friend. You thought that you had rights. You don't have rights in New York State. You have privileges that Her Majesty decides to give to you if you do as she says. If you enforce the Queen's will, you may have those privileges.
Well, I wonder how long before I actually truly become an outlaw, because I'm already an outlaw in some ways. That makes me wonder how long it's going to be before they start hunting me down for burning wood. All right,
Well,
Larry,
I think
thanks.
what's
Appreciate
happening
it.
with so many people is that they wind up packing up and leaving the state. And that's what I'm trying to avoid, my friend. And I don't want you to leave either.
I don't either. I mean, other than the fact that it's too damn cold up here, but it's nice.
Well,
it's beautiful.
It's about to get colder.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I've got
Tyler, thank you.
I've got -2 on my thermometer right now.
Wow. Tyler, thank you for the call. I appreciate it, brother.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. So Tyler was perfect. He got me right into my next point, right? And I know you're going to say, Larry, are you going to do this slippery slope thing? Yeah, I'm doing a slippery slope thing. And I'm doing it because if you remember, Eric Adams was against this, who was the new mayor of New York City, and Hochul was against it. I'm sorry, Queen Kathy was against this also. But then all of a sudden, Proposal 2 passes. And now they're like, this is a great idea. I love this idea. Because once they start, they can now use this for anything. Now, how in the world are you going to get a court order to stop this when we've just made a healthful environment a right? I was talking about this months ago, and people were teasing me and laughing. Oh, Larry, why are you mad about this one? This is why. This is why. You're going to find they're going to come into your home as a right to save you and to save others in your home, particularly your children. They're going to come save the children, and they're going to start telling you what you can and can't have in your home. They're already doing it. Now they're going to do it even more. And you might go, well, Larry, I'll just tell them no. It's my house. Great. What are you going to do when they take your children? I'm not joking. They will take your children. There is a financial benefit to New York State from money that comes from the federal government if they put more kids in the system. They do it at family court all the time. So now they have a reason to do it for you again. They will take your children. Larry's talking about kids getting stolen. Yes, I know. Maybe I'm nuts. Have I gone off the deep end? Maybe. I didn't think that these lockdowns would happen the way they did, right? And they haven't gone away either. But what can I be wrong about? I don't know. This is what's on our way. This is what's on the way. I apologize. This is what's on the way. Now, he brought up the next piece. What happens when there's brownouts? And for those of you who don't live in New York who are listening and watching, New York's cold. Particularly now. It's cold. Tyler just said it was -2 where he is. It's cold. So now I'm in my house and I can't afford my heat. Or worse, there's brownouts. That's what happened in California. They've been doing this. They got brownouts. Now we have brownouts. We just shut down Indian Point nuclear power plant, which provided 25% of the energy to New York City. So that's gone now. So when the brownouts come and you don't have any heat in your house and your pipes are going to freeze and you and your family are going to freeze, you're going to do what Tyler said. You're going to burn wood or kerosene or whatever. You're going to burn something. Well, now you're a criminal. You're a criminal. And what happens when you can't burn it? Because they come in and physically seize it. Because now you can't sell them anymore in New York State. That'll be the next step. You can't sell any of them. And once you can't sell any of them, who's going to know how to fix them when they break? These people are going to pack up and go to some other state where you can actually sell these things. So we're going to lose these people also. So you might say to yourself, Larry, you don't understand. This is about the globe. This is about the bigger world. Larry, you don't see it. What's wrong with you? Why are you so selfish? You don't see the bigger picture. When COVID hit New York State, we didn't start adding things. We started subtracting so that we could actually move forward. There's a financial storm now too. We have to fix it too, which means subtracting, not adding rules and regulations. Am I crazy? Am I missing the mark here? That's all right. Let me know. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp on a free solution. WYSL WACK in Newark, New York. Back after the break.
Fly the flag, stand for freedom.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies, with more than a couple of flurries. Still breezy and cold, but temperatures will actually climb a little bit overnight towards 20 by morning. On Wednesday, not as harsh. We'll get up into the 30s, but still a gusty breeze will make it feel cold. There'll be a snow shower in the afternoon. Same deal on Thursday. The Arctic air returns Friday into the weekend. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Do you, like many business owners, feel your business is your other child? You started it, worried when things weren't well, watched it grow, proud of its successes, and now the business is running well. So you start to think, how am I going to transfer this business and make sure I get the most value for it? Who am I going to sell it to? Family, key employees, favorite competitors? What's my business worth? What kind of payment terms am I going to get? What are the tax implications and business agreements I need? What's going to be the impact for me and my family? I'm Alan Ginsberg of the A.M. Ginsberg Advisory Group. We work with many business owners regarding business continuation plans. We'll be glad to sit down and discuss your situation and look at the options that you may have available. Call my office at 585-377-4720. If you started to think about it, don't wait till the last minute.
Securities offered through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Securities America Advisors, Inc., A.M. Ginsberg Advisory Group, and Securities America Companies are separate entities.
WYSL. Looking for unique gift ideas? Think Springwater Amish Workshop, Route 15 in Springwater. In the warmer months, they enhance your yard with quality Amish-built gazebos and storage sheds. Lasting American-made gifts for anyone, and they'll store your purchase until spring. Get $100 off or a free ramp with select buildings. Springwater Amish Workshop has gliders, rockers, lighthouses, wishing wells, and more. For the kids, check out toys, children's tables and chairs, rocking horses, and doll cradles, jelly cabinets, trash bins, clothes racks, benches, and hall trees. Let Springwater Amish Workshop help with unique ideas like wood American flags with appreciation stripes, blue law enforcement, green military, red fire personnel, and red with white nurse. It's fun to shop at Springwater Amish Workshop with COVID-safe premises, and it's a pretty drive just a few minutes from everywhere. The furniture and buildings are lovely, the craftsmanship is unmatched, and the pricing is the lowest in the area. Springwater Amish Workshop, 7936 Route 15 Springwater, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 3.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories. Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help?
Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
Sheriff Thomas Doherty would like to remind us to make sure we are riding our snowmobiles safely this season. Remember your defensive driving skills. Always be alert for potential danger. Watch out for thin ice, unforeseen obstacles under the snow, trees, and branches on the trails. Don't drink and drive your snowmobile. Be especially alert and careful when riding at night and on the ice. Make sure you are dressed properly for the weather and have quality sunglasses to avoid snow blindness. You should have a basic repair kit on hand if the need arises.
We're not meant to live life alone. At Brighton Presbyterian Church, we believe we need God and one another every day. Join a caring church family that values loving God, His Word, and serving others with humility. We worship together at 9:15 a.m. on Sundays at 1775 East Avenue in Rochester, across from Wegmans. Find out more at brightonpresby.org.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp is here, back this awesome afternoon. Happy to be here on WYSL Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York. We are here on a free solution. And the best part about this is a free solution is on every day. It is noon. And you're saying, Larry, how can I watch and listen to a free solution? How can I get the cool people that are on here, like Tim O'Connor and Kevin Wilson? How can I get these people? How can I watch them and listen to them? Easy. Go to Facebook and YouTube and follow a free solution. It's that easy. So happy to have you here today. 585-346-3000. I'm going to grab a bunch of your comments. I appreciate the chat going nuts as usual. I appreciate it. So yes. All right. Logic says, great, more government and more government. So what does she want to rely on solar? You know, to be forward, a lot of people take a dump on solar. They get mad at solar. I'm not mad at any of these, really. And I know people want me to be pro or anti, or I'm not. I want us to move forward with solar as best as we possibly can. I just don't want people to suffer as we move there. If we one day can have a total solar wind world, that'd be amazing. I hope that happens. All I'm saying is we've got to get there. And that's not tomorrow. Is that 10 years from now? 100 years from now? I don't know. And to be forward, I don't have to know. Right? That's not my job. Will never be my job. Even if I'm governor, that's not my job. My job is not to know exactly when that's going to happen. My job is to facilitate us moving there as fast as we can, as safely and as smartly as we can. Not forcing us to get there, facilitating us to get there, giving us good options and choices. Hopefully people's innovation explodes, and we'll get there when we get there. I hope it's soon. If it's not, that's okay too. But Larry, global warming. But Larry, humans literally in their own beds, freezing to death. That's worse. Why? Because even if New York City became carbon neutral tomorrow, magic, I have magic powers. I snap my fingers and New York City, the largest city in the country, is carbon zero overnight. Larry's magic powers. Nothing's going to change. It's not enough. This has to move as we have to move, and we should. And I'm also pro-nuclear power. We could do nuclear power for a while until we find all the cool other ways of doing stuff. I'm not against any of these things, except force. It doesn't work. There are always consequences, backlash that always hurts us, and we simply never get it. It's almost like we just never learn. Do you know why? Because we never learn. Mike says, rolling blackouts, here we come. We need to seriously revamp electric infrastructure to handle the new load. Yes, heating of the lines will be a problem. Yes, people are talking about it. So we need to increase line thickness. That's already a problem here in New York City. You're totally right, Mike. Already a problem. This is going to force the issue, and we're going to pay the price to make that happen. Jimmy, how are you, sir? Says, terrible fire in the Bronx because of a space heater. Wow. Jimmy, well done. That's exactly right. He says, he continues, it will happen more often without natural gas in new apartment buildings. You're right. People are going to do that. You're right. They're going to warm themselves up. They're going to use space heaters. And when they start using a space heater to plug in, that might be even more expensive. So what are they going to use? Gas, kerosene. Well, Larry, we'll ban kerosene. Then they'll just use gasoline because that's better. They'll burn whatever they want to burn. If you provide people with a lot of safe options, they'll pick safe options. If you provide them with only one government mandated option, some will take that, others will take unsafe options. The example of that is everything. Literally everything. That's the example. Every single thing on the planet. That's how that works. Yes. Dan says, if this move by our governor isn't the final nail in a coffin, pun intended, it's Dan. Oh, nice. You were using my coffin analogy. Thank you. Well, let me touch that piece, Dan. It's a very important piece you just brought up. When the COVID virus hit New York State, I was talking about let's remove the barriers so that people can respond and we can survive and work well within this environment. That was one of my goals as I started to explain my plan to handle COVID. New York State did the opposite. Hammer down, hammer down, hammer down. And of course, what happened? People rebelled. Duh, they always do. People got angry, always, and the economy's been trashed. The New York State economy is a disaster. They're telling people, well, look, the indicators mean something. The indicators are stupid. They have no value whatsoever. That's silly. They don't matter. The economy's broken. You know it if you live in New York State. You know it. So now the economy's broken. People are in trouble. Literally, she admitted, our Lord Master, Queen Kathy, admitted that 300,000 at least New Yorkers left last year. More like 500,000, but it's fine. We'll go by her numbers. 300,000 left last year. The largest ever and the largest across the entire country. So what's her answer? You know what I'll do? I'll make it more expensive to live here because that'll work. I'll make it harder to build here because that'll work. I'll make it harder to heat your homes in the winter because that'll work. Every single person who's leaving is going down south. I'm exaggerating, not everyone, but the vast majority are. They're going down south. So you know what I'll do? I'll make it harder for them. I'll make it easier for them to leave and harder for them to stay. And I'll make it stupid for them to come back. That'll solve our problems. I will ask again, where is her plan to bring business back? Where is her plan to keep people here? Where is her plan to handle inflation? Because that's the next piece. What most New Yorkers are worried about, what I hear constantly, is cost of living, inflation, all the time. From business owners to homeowners to students, they're saying it's hard to live here. It's hard to retire here. So you know what? Our Majesty will make it harder. For many people, it is the final nail. More people are going to leave. And sadly, the Assembly doesn't even get it or doesn't care. It might just be that. They may not even care. That's it. Yes. Lewis says, that is genius. Evil genius, but genius nonetheless. Yes, that's true. That's good. The Ultimate Warrior says, hey, I voted for Larry. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes, I love that. Henry says, might as well have a portrait of George Washington be the New York governor. I got to tell you, times like these, I agree. Rather have no governor. Like, let us just walk around with no governor. That will be better at this point. I mean, she's not helping. I guess she goes on TV a lot, which is nice, I guess, or online and says stuff. I guess that's nice. Some people like that. And if she would just do that and just say nice, motivating stuff, I'd be okay with that. I wish she wouldn't make decrees. Just go on TV, try to say nice, motivating stuff, and I'm good with that. Just say, you could do it, and we're New Yorkers, and New York strong. Like, be a cheerleader every day. That's fine. I think that's what Cuomo was trying to do, but he was too much of a tyrant that he couldn't just be a cheerleader. He had to also be a punisher. He couldn't just be cheerleader. But he wouldn't have been bad if he just would have cheerleaded every day. But that wasn't going to happen. So, anyway. Michelle, how are you? We have to talk. I need to call you today. My son already wants me and Jay in Florida. We are now alone. I know. I'm sorry to hear about your loss. I just saw it this weekend. Thank you. I hope you're able to stay, but I understand if you don't. For many of you listening, watching, I know a lot of you are thinking about leaving. I think about leaving. Of course we do. We're New Yorkers. If you're a New Yorker, you think about leaving. Our state's broken. It's a disaster. Of course you do. I'm not mad if you leave. I understand. I'm disappointed because there's a small window that we have to move on in the next year or two. If we don't move on that window, the ball game's over. The war's over. Stop throwing good money after bad. Time to move on. Some of you figured this out and already left. You don't have the same optimism that I have. Some of you think the door already closed. I still think we have a shot. That's why I'm trying to keep this going. So, Michelle, I hope you're able to stay. Bill says, New York State shut down the nuclear power plant in Buchanan and replaced it with natural gas plant in Dutchess County. Now what? That's a good question. That's a good question. I guess maybe you can still use natural gas for the plant, but you can't use it for a residential building. So the plant can use natural gas to make electricity. Just the house can't, I guess. So you're acting like they thought this through. I mean, they clearly didn't, right? They didn't. There's no way they thought this through. They just got mad and said, this will feel good. Absolutely. This will feel good. So yes, I wish I was wrong, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So yes. All right. Joel says electric utilities will not make a windfall off conversion to electricity everything. The Public Service Commission controls the ability to make a profit. Blame the Public Service Commission, the PSC. There we go. Thank you, Joel. So the PSC, really? All right, now I got to do homework, Joel. You gave me homework. All right, guys. I want to say thank you so much so far for listening. Larry Sharp of Free Solution. I'll be back with your calls and your chat after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excelis, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, it's Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, the cool Newark. Happy that you're giving me a chunk of your afternoon. Before the break, I was talking about how these policies in New York State are making New York State worse and worse. Things aren't getting better. And it's almost as though they don't care. And I mentioned this when I ran in 2018. And I would tease, but maybe it wasn't really teasing, about how the then governor of our state, Cuomo, would say things like, well, you know, there's no room in this state for conservatives. And he was happy about it. He wasn't mad about it. He was passing laws that were making conservatives angry across the state for years. Didn't care. And people say, well, he's got to care. People are leaving. We're getting angry. What you don't get, or what people didn't get, I think people are getting it now, is the people who are leaving are the people who would vote against him. So he doesn't care if you leave. It just makes his margin of victory higher, right? He's like, good. Why would he say get out if he didn't want you to get out? Why is he not unhappy when he sees all the FUAC stickers? He didn't care. He's like, good. As long as that car's going south, I don't care. Makes my margin of victory even higher. And that's still happening. Those 300, well, 500,000 people who left, most of those were people who wouldn't vote for the current regime. She's not unhappy. You don't see her talking about that. It's like people left and, you know, more punishment. That's what she's literally done. All these people are leaving. You know what? The punishment will continue until people come back. That'll teach them. That kind of doesn't work. But that's where her head is. And why shouldn't it be? Absolutely. So Jack says, it's not a conspiracy if it keeps coming true, LOL.
James, Alfred, New York.
You're not wrong at all. So, yes, that's good. So Jeanette says, good afternoon, Larry. And you are right over it. This is an agenda. I think you're right. Lewis says, you were right on point. I'm doing something right. I like that. It's good. I'm going to grab a call if I can here. Hold on. Is it James from
Alfred?
Did I get that right?
Yes, Larry.
Alfred,
yeah,
New
how are
York.
you, sir?
I'm doing good. Now, I got a question for you. There's a solar farm going in around us, 700 acres.
Wow.
Which I hate because it's right up next to my farm. It's on three sides of me.
Three sides, just surrounded.
It's on three sides of my 80 acres. Yeah.
Wow.
They never approached me. They probably knew why.
Yeah. One of the problems that we have here is that when there are always committees that decide what happens in any community. The committees don't care what the community thinks. They don't at all. What happens is the community, and this is how New York State runs, it may run in your state, other states, I should say, the same way. But I'm sure you dealt with this, James. You go to the board or the committee, and you say what you feel. This is wrong. I don't like it. I'm unhappy. They nod their heads and then do what they want. And the reason is they're unaccountable. No one's accountable to what happens to your farm or around your farm. If we remove those committees, and there's no committee, that has to be done only by the local elected officials, and that's it. At least they are accountable to you. That isn't perfect. It's just better. And at least they have to hear you because you're paying taxes and you're voting. Again, that's not perfect, but that's better. The idea of having some type of committee or board, which New York has tons of them, it sounds like it's fair, but it's not. It's usually most of the people on that board, if it's 5 people, the governor picks 3 of them, the Senate or the Assembly picks the other 2. So what they do is they give their cronies an advantage. They help their cronies and donors out, and then the people who are there have a vested interest in surrounding your farm. And if you don't like it, so what? You have no recourse. If you go to your local, do anything, it's the board. Am I right?
Which is what happened, because the neighborhood didn't know anything was going on until it was already approved to go through. And even our local town officials didn't know it was happening until it was approved that they can do it.
Yes, that is my point. All of these boards, the regional economic development councils, all of these local councils need to go away immediately. Immediately to go away. The local people need to have a say in their local area. Look, I'm assuming you wouldn't want your farm surrounded by solar farms, but if you did, then that's fine. I don't mind. It's your land. If you want it surrounded by solar farms, fine. But you probably wouldn't. And probably the other farmers in your area also wouldn't want it. And the people who rely upon your votes would be like, whoa, I don't want that to happen because I'm going to lose my seat. And I live with these people. I live in this area. You're in Allegheny County. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes. So people in Allegheny County, very rural area, they're going to care about this stuff and they would stop them. These boards are the way the state government gets around local control. That's why I'm against them so much. You hear me talk about ending the Empire Development Corporation, ending all of those local committees. They all have to go away. You have to have accountability. Now, while that won't be perfect, it will be better. That's how you fix it.
Well, I don't want the solar panels there, but it's not my farm. It's not my ground. So you guys do what you want, but it's just the idea behind how they did it. That's what's aggravating the locals.
Yes, well, because this is the issue. If I don't ask you, you don't like it. Even if you like it, right? Even if you like it. If I don't ask you, you don't like it. If I wanted to come to your farm and I wanted to spend the night on part of your land, if I ask you, you go, yeah, go ahead. You don't mind, do it. But if I just do it, you don't like it, even though you don't actually care.
Then I'll come after you.
That's correct. Yes, you were not going to be happy. All I had to do was ask you, and you'd been like, yeah, go ahead. No worries. This is exactly the same idea. If they treat you with respect, then you're more apt to go, I'm in. Let's do this.
1 minute.
That's the issue. James, I love your call. This happens all across New York State all the time. And look, if I'm able to win the governorship, I promise you I will go out of my way to try to fix this.
Well, you got my support. I'm trying to rack some more up.
I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one. This is what I'm talking about, guys, when it comes to local control. I'm not against solar panels. If you think they're valuable in your area, please put them there. And if you don't. But no matter what, local is going to be better. It's not perfect, but it's going to be better. And the solution is getting rid of all of these things. No more development councils, no more committees. That solution is a free solution. Yes, it is. Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.